Have you ever stopped to think why some people are able to build wealth, financial freedom, and a life that seems like something out of a movie, while others spend decades stuck with the same salary, the same job, the same bills? It's not magic. It's not inheritance. And it's definitely not luck. What separates those who prosper from those who just survive is something much simpler and more powerful than it seems: daily habits. Maybe you think your problem is lack of money, but what if I told you that the real problem is how you think and act every day? While you struggle to save money on coffee, there are people who focus on developing habits that generate passive income, build strategic relationships, and dominate the time management as if it were a superpower. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 habits that rich people practice religiously every day. And the best part is you can also do the same, even if you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth or work 12 hours a day. This content isn't about empty promises. It's about real financial transformation with practical examples and clear paths for those who want to break out of stagnation and achieve a success mindset. Get ready to question what you've been taught about money, productivity, and success. Well, dispel myths. Analyze the habits of giants like Elon Musk and Warren Buffett, and understand how small actions can create a revolution in your life, like a domino effect that starts with a simple choice: act differently from today. Before diving in, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so as not to miss any content about financial freedom, millionaire habits, and how you can become one disciplined investor even starting from scratch. Now, let's find out which are these 5 habits that can change everything. Let's get straight to the point. Wealth doesn't fall from the sky. Rich people don't wake up millionaires by accident. They build that reality based on repeated choices every day. The difference between those who are always chasing money and those who earn financial freedom is in us daily habits. It's not about doing something great every now and then, but about repeating the right actions consistently. As Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. This is where a simple principle comes in, but one that many people ignore. The life you have today is an exact reflection of your habits. Your financial results, your energy, your relationships, everything comes from what you do or don't do automatically. That's why developing a success mindset is not about momentary motivation, but about repeating behaviors that bring you closer to freedom every day. Rich people are not those who earn a lot. They are those who have habits that multiply every penny. You know that thought, I don't have time or money. The truth is that this is just a fancy excuse to justify the comfort zone. While some spend hours scrolling to their feed, others are applying self-discipline that'll learn about finance, invest intelligently, and generate passive income. The secret is not in luck, but in focus. And focus is precisely choosing what you're going to do every day, even when no one is looking. The funny thing is that when you start thinking of wealth as a consequence of well-constructed routines, everything changes. You stop seeing success as a lottery and start understanding it as an equation: effort, right habits, time, financial transformation. And make no mistake, anyone can apply this equation, as long as they are willing to review their choices. Millionaires are, above all, masters of strategic repetition. So if you want different results, you need to start with different actions. It's that simple. Swap an hour distraction for daily reading, for example, already puts you on the path of those who choose to grow. What seems small in the short term, in the long term accumulates like compound interest. It's not about changing everything at once. It's about starting with awareness and persisting with consistency. And the first step? Understanding that everything starts from within with the right habits. Many people think the problem is a lack of money, but most of the time, the problem is deeper. What is really lacking is healthy money habits. The problem is not earning little. It is not knowing what to do with what you earn. The truth is that even with a modest salary, it is possible to start a business. Financial transformation if there is self-discipline and clarity of purpose. Money is just a reflection of your decisions. A study cited in the book The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg shows that about 40 of the actions you perform every day are habits, not conscious decisions. This means that if you spend without thinking, procrastinate on organizing your finances, or constantly Ignore your bank statements. This has become part of your automatic routine. And the worst part, you don't even realize it. Replacing this autopilot with conscious attitudes is what starts to generate financial freedom. That's why you see people with high salaries always broke, and others with modest incomes managing to save, invest, and even start their own businesses. The game is not about how much comes in, but how you manage what comes in. Being a disciplined investor, it starts long before you invest in the stock market or buy real estate. It starts when you decide to change your relationship with money. When the focus stops being survival and starts being construction. And hey, Race, an important tip, we live in a culture that normalizes living on the edge as if it were nice to get by with little. But living on the edge isn't heroism. It's a lack of strategy. The real revolution begins when you understand that the problem isn't in the external world, it's in your internal habits. And the good news? They can be replaced. With intention, practice, and the right triggers. Replace the thought, there's nothing left with how can I make better use of what I have? Replace the regret with daily reading off books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad of the Richest Man in Babylon. Swap the rush for time management. When you change what you do every day, money stops slipping through your fingers and starts working for you. And that's when the magic of change starts to happen one habit at a time. Meet Sarah. She's no tycoon, nor was she born with a silver spoon in her mouth. In the beginning, she worked 2 jobs to make ends meet and was still mired in debt. Sounds like a lot of people's stories, right? But what changed was the way she approached her financial habits and her success mindset. Sarah decided that she was not a victim of her circumstances. She was responsible for her own future. Instead of continuing on autopilot, she adopted 5 simple habits that transformed her life. The first step was to have relentless clarity about her goals, understanding exactly where she was and where she wanted to go. With this vision, she began to see every expense, every hour of the day, as an investment in her own financial transformation. And it is precisely this vision that differentiates those who remain stagnant and those who advance. Sarah invested in self-discipline to control your impulses, but without losing quality of life. He began to apply the principle of time management, dedicating hours to learning about investments and how to generate passive income. It didn't take long for her to realize that money isn't just for spending, but a tool to gain freedom and new opportunities. And her confidence grew with each step. One important detail, Sarah didn't do this alone. She sought to create strategic relationships with people who were already on the journey to financial success. These contacts opened doors, brought knowledge and also motivation. After all, walking with someone makes all the difference in maintaining the necessary discipline and consistency. It's the famous, if you want to go far, go with someone. Today, with less effort than she imagined, Sarah has achieved her dream of financial freedom. She proves that well-applied habits are the basis for any real change. Her story is no exception. It is an invitation for you to reflect what habits can you start changing now to achieve your own financial revolution? Elon Musk, one of the most brilliant minds of our time, has a simple daily ritual he asks himself every day. What would make today a success? This question is the essence of limitless clarity, knowing exactly where you want to go and acting with total focus. For those looking for financial freedom, this clarity is a map to avoid shortcuts that only waste time and energy. Thinking from first principles, as Musk does, is about deconstructing everything you know and reevaluating what really matters. It's not about repeating what everyone else says, but understanding the why behind your actions. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, recommends changing your mindset to I am a disciplined investor instead of I want to save money. This simple shift reinforces commitment and identity, 2 pillars of success mindset. Nietzsche summed it up well when he said, "He who has a why can face any how." Having clarity about your why is what will keep you strong in the face of the challenges that will arise. After all, the journey to financial transformation is not linear or easy. Having a clear goal helps you filter out distractions and use your time management in your favor, focusing on what really generates results. But clarity isn't just about having a big dream, it's also about translating that dream into daily actions, small, achievable goals. It's about knowing what you're going to do today, right now, to move forward. It's about keeping your vision for the future, but acting in the present. That's why setting aside a moment at the beginning of your day to define your focus is a powerful practice, almost like a ritual that aligns your mind, heart, and routine. If you don't already have this habit, start small, ask a question every morning, and write down the answer. This helps you get into the mindset of a real disciplined investor and build a solid path toward freedom. Relentless clarity is the first step toward turning dreams into reality, and without it, any plan is just smoke and mirrors. If there's one lesson Warren Buffett teaches, it is that time is the most precious resource you have, far more valuable than any amount of money in your bank account. He dedicated about 80 of his day to reading and reflecting, showing that time management is the secret for those who seek financial freedom and a success mindset consistent. After all, lost money can be recovered. Lost time cannot be recovered. Managing your time wisely is more effective than saving a penny here and there. The trick is to differentiate between what is urgent and what is truly important, as the Eisenhower Matrix suggests. Focusing on what generates long-term results, such as learning about investing or building million-dollar habits, is what turns effort into real, lasting value. Oprah Winfrey, one of the world's greatest entrepreneurs, rightly says, "Your time is your life." It's a warning not to waste the minutes and hours of your day on activities that don't add anything to your financial or personal journey. The self-discipline to protect your time, prioritizing what matters, is what makes it possible to build a successful business, passive income consistent, and the development of strategic relationships. To start applying this management, it is worth setting aside blocks of time in your day for activities that generate impact, such as daily reading of books like The Mindset by Carol Dweck or The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. With this habit, you will be investing in your knowledge, the most powerful asset for any disciplined investor who wants to truly grow. Ultimately, understanding that time is a capital that you can control, unlike money that can come and go, is a game changer. Those who master this habit will be able to control not only the clock, but also their own financial destiny. And look, that is already a huge step toward a true financial transformation. Robert Kiyosaki, author of the classic Rich Dad, Poor Dad, teaches that the rich don't work for money, they make money work for them. This is the basis of the third essential habit for financial freedom, understanding that you need to master the art of generating passive income. It's not just about earning, but about putting what you earn to produce more, creating a cycle of constant growth. Consider Jessica, a teacher who decided to break out of the traditional time-form only model. She created and sold lesson plans online, a skill she mastered with focus and dedication. She gradually saw her earnings grow to over $10,000 per month, and all without having to be present all the time. This is a clear example of how mastering a skill can turn into a solid source of income that grows even when you're not working. But to get there, you need to understand that money is not an enemy, nor something to fear or hide. It is a powerful tool that needs to be managed wisely. Self-disciplining and intelligence. The success mindset transforms fear into action and effort into investment. With patience, you can build a portfolio of investments, businesses, or projects that yield results without having to run after them 24 hours a day. Another tip to start implementing this habit is to study the different forms of investment stocks, real estate funds, digital businesses, or even a franchise. The key is to understand your profile and, above all, to be a disciplined investor, keeping your focus on your long-term goals. This way, your money will multiply while you focus on other areas of your life. The key is to not get comfortable with a fixed salary and realize that the real power lies in creating cash flows that work for you. Making money work for you is not a privilege or the few, it's a habit that anyone can develop with the right combination of knowledge, courage, and discipline. One of the best kept secrets of millionaires is a habit of daily reading. According to the book Rich Habits, 88 of financially successful people dedicate at least 30 minutes a day to learning something new. Continuous education is the foundation of success mindset and of the financial transformation. It keeps your mind sharp, up to date, and ready to seize opportunities that most people don't even realize. Jim Rohn once said that formal education gives you a salary, but self-education gives you a fortune. That's because the knowledge you seek on your own is what opens real doors to financial freedom. And it doesn't have to be anything complex. 20 minutes of reading a day can make a huge difference. In 3 months, you can devour 6 to 10 books that will change the way you think about money and millionaire habits. To start, how about books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill or The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg? They are great for those who want to understand the power of small habits and how they translate into wealth and success. In addition, daily reading feeds your self-discipline, one of the pillars for any disciplined investor who wants to truly grow. Don't limit yourself to books, podcasts, videos, courses, and even conversations with inspiring people are ways to expand your knowledge. The important thing is to keep moving because financial life is a process in constant evolution. Those who stop learning stagnate, and the market does not forgive those who stand still. Thus, continuing education becomes a daily investment in yourself, the most valuable asset there is. It boosts your journey to financial freedom, helps you manage your time, and strengthens the building of strategic relationships. A simple, powerful, and transformative habit. Have you ever heard of weak ties? They are connections that, at first glance, seem superficial, but that broaden your horizons in surprising ways. Building strategic relationships is not just about being around influential people, but cultivating a diverse network that brings new ideas, opportunities, and support. For those seeking financial freedom and a successful mindset, this is pure gold. The tip here is simple but powerful. Connect weekly with 3 types of people: a mentor who will guide you with experience, an employee who complements your skills, and a stranger who brings a new perspective. This mix is what will expand your vision and put you in touch with what is happening beyond your usual circle. The African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, sums up the power of these relationships. They're the fuel for your financial transformation, as they not only open doors, but also keep you motivated when your self-discipline seems to be faltering. The right network helps you get through the tough times and accelerates your growth. Furthermore, cultivating these relationships helps with time management, as it prevents wasting time on contacts that don't add real value. It's a smart way to invest your time, your most precious asset, in people who drive your journey, whether in learning, business, or personal development. This creates a virtuous cycle that fuels the building of passive income and the formation of millionaire habits. Be active in your network, participate in events, study groups, online meetings, and always seek to add value before asking for it. The more value you offer, the stronger your circle will be. This is one of the keys to becoming a disciplined investor who understands that success comes not only from money, but from the connections you build along the way. Have you ever stopped to think about how small habits, when repeated day after day, can generate gigantic transformations? It's like compound interest at first. It seems slow and almost invisible, but over time, its power explodes and changes everything. True wealth is not just in the money you accumulate, but in the freedom of time, the clarity of purpose, and the strength of your mindset. It is this combination that separates those who live in the 9-to-5 cycle from those who achieve true financial freedom. Are you willing to invest in your self-discipline and become one disciplined investor of your own life? Which of these 5 habits can you start cultivating today to accelerate your journey to freedom? Think about it. What do you need to leave behind to make room for this new phase of life? Financial transformation? It's time to act, because change doesn't wait. It happens to those who decide to take the first step. Remember that success is not final, and failure is not fatal. What really matters is the courage to keep going, even when things get tough. Don't wait for the perfect moment to take action. It's now. Start small, with daily reading, time management, or strategic relationship building, and watch the incredible changes these habits can create. And of course, you don't have to do it alone. Subscribe to the channel, Turn on notifications and come with me on this journey to build a successful mindset and millionaire habits that will transform your financial and personal life. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message and leave a comment telling us which habit you're going to start today. The time for your transformation is now. Let's do it together.